Here's the best way to prevent gym membership cancellations. What you will find is that membership cancellations, if they're kept within a certain limit, and I'll tell you more about that, make a huge difference in your ability to grow a facility. And my business partner and I picked up a few locations, and one of the things that we found in one of the locations in particular is that attrition was so high that it was really difficult for us to even grow that location at all. I mean, like crazy high. A lot of franchisors will tell you, oh, like 8% monthly attrition is no big deal, which it's not true. It is a big deal. People will say, oh, 6 to 8%, not a big deal. The reality though is if you can get your monthly attrition to 5% or less, and what we're aiming for is 3% monthly attrition, it makes it so much easier to grow a facility. But anyway, one of these locations that we own, when we first got it, it had like 12, 14% monthly attritions. And there were factors that went into that, the usual suspects like team turnover. There were some issues with Omicron that of course then resulted in some team turnover later on, and all of these ripple effects, right? They play into it. There was some promotion that that the franchise recommended us running that was like a short-term thing, and there was just a high level of attrition from that. So, we're running at like 12, 14% monthly attrition, and some months a little bit higher. And here is what we implemented to bring that down below 5% monthly attrition. And now we experience months of 3% attrition, sometimes less. And we average out at around, 4 or 5% monthly attrition just in the long-term average in facilities like this all the time. And so the first thing, the number one thing that you can do is handle day one well. Now, why do I say that? Well, the biggest attrition stat that you can actually make a difference in is that 90 to 120 day turnover. This is the avatar, the person, this is the person that comes in, joins, doesn't use it a whole lot, doesn't get engaged really well, drops off in utilization, and 3, 4, maybe 5 months later at the most, that cancellation happens. And then, another 4, 5, 6 months go by and they try again somewhere else with the same result. Well, if you got them to join your facility, our responsibility now becomes helping them get what they came there to achieve. And so here's how we go about that. When this person joins, the easiest way to affect those first 3 or 4 months is by doing the first month well. The easiest way to do the first month well is to do day one really, really well. Now, what do I mean by that? Here's where we get practical. During the sales process, during your needs assessment, when you get to know that person a little bit better, and I did a training video on, several training videos on the 4-segment sales system. The first segment is doing an excellent needs assessment. Part of an excellent needs assessment is asking someone about their schedule and helping them establish a reasonable routine. And I talk more about that in other videos. But imagine this, if I ask a person, when are you gonna come in, what days, what times, and I help them establish a reasonable routine that's easy for them to follow through with, that's got the right amount of frequency and at a fairly consistent time, or at a very consistent time, even better, now they're gonna be able to use the facility. Well, I do that in the needs assessment, and I establish the days and times they're going to use the facility. Now, when I do that well, they not only have a new membership, but they also have a plan for using it. That little thing there, helping someone establish their plan for success, I found so many facilities don't do that well. So that's the first thing, right? If you're used to closing organic traffic like walk-ins or referrals or web leads who Googled your website or whatever else, those people have progressed far enough in many circumstances to develop their own plan. They've got enough of their own reasons to get going. But particularly if you have leads coming in from an offer, from marketing, those are the people that needed help to come in through the doors. So they're gonna need help to establish their plan for success. So we do that well. Second thing that we wanna do on day one is we want to give them a really good reason for bringing a friend in through the doors. Now, when we do that well, not only do they have a plan for success, but they've got a friend for the journey. Boom, now we've got the formula set up well so the first 30 days can be a success. So if we fast forward from day one into the first 30 days, what we want to do in the first 30 days is if someone's not using the facility, we don't want to hit them up like a day or two or three later. We want to know what days and times they're planning on coming in, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. So if it's 9:15 or 9:30 and I'm not there, I should be getting a text message and a phone call and a voicemail right away as part of the retention tasks of the first 30 days of a new member. And it's going to sound like this. Hey, Ryan, this is Ryan over here at the gym. And I was just calling because I know that you like to come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. And I saw that you weren't here at the 9 a.m. slot. So I was just giving a call to find out if you wanted me to reserve a time for you later on in the day, or if maybe we'll see you this afternoon. If not, no big deal. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hope you're having a great day. I'll send you a text message in case that's easier for you, and we'll see you soon. No guilt trips, nothing weird like that. I'm just gonna offer to reserve another time for them if it's a class-based facility. If it's not, I'm gonna say, we'll see you later on this afternoon or tomorrow, something like that. Then I'm gonna follow it up with a text. Text is gonna mirror that verbiage and say basically the same exact thing in case it's easier for them to communicate that way. Most people will never pick up the phone call. Most people will listen to the voicemail later that day or the next day, but most people will get that text message right away. Almost everybody gets that text right away. So make sure you utilize those 3 channels to help someone follow through with their plan for success. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the best way to handle a membership cancellation request when it actually happens. And you'll take a huge chunk out of your cancellations or your attrition with that strategy as well. And I'll link to that video. Maybe I'll put it right here and you'll be able to link to it so you can check that out. And the last thing that I would tell you is that if you do those first 30 days well, someone now has a habit of using your facility, and them sticking with you for the long haul now becomes the natural result. So to sum it up, we want to do the first 30 days well by helping someone establish a plan for success and following up with them that same day right away when we miss them. Like if I was supposed to go to coffee with you, or if I was supposed to work out with you at 9 and you didn't hit me up by 9:30 if I wasn't there, that would be weird, right? Like you didn't really care about working out with me at all if you weren't like, hey bro, I thought you were gonna be here at 9. Is everything okay? Like, are we both at the right place? Like, you doing okay? Something like that, right? That's what we want in the first 30 days. And day 1, we want to establish the plan for success. So that's the number one thing. Establish the plan for success on the first day, even before you present membership. Establish that schedule. If you're doing that well, then move on to the second thing. Give people a really good reason to refer right away on their day 1 and bring a friend with them so they have someone to do the journey with. If you're doing that really well, then you want to move on to the next thing of helping people follow through with their plan for success by following up with them within 30 minutes or less anytime someone is not there when they said that they would be there in accordance with their plan for success. I hope that helps you crush it. I hope that helps your members in your community get what they came there for. And if you want to know a little bit more about how to handle a cancellation request, go ahead and check out the next video that I will link to this one right now.